Earlier, we looked at the aftermath of the 2010 earthquake in Haiti and the various rebuilding projects. But 5 years later, what are the results? Our John Roberts traveled from one end of Haiti to the other to find the answer.
This is the hilltop home of Jean-Max Bellerive. He was Prime Minister of Haiti in 2010 when the devastating earthquake hit. Together with former President Bill Clinton, he headed up the interim Haiti Recovery Commission, which had a very big say in where much of the billions of dollars that was pouring into Haiti would eventually be spent. Bellerive explained to me the importance of having Bill Clinton on the commission.
Jean-Max Bellerive is not going to attract in a permanent way Fox News, CNN, ABC. We needed a figure that will attract the people to keep Haiti on the news.
And was Bill Clinton that image that you needed to sell Haiti?
It's the one we think of at that time, because he was already involved in Haiti. Hillary Clinton was in Haiti, so we need an image. I believe in his role of president of the commission, he did well.
So you said you believe that Bill Clinton did a good job. There sounds like there's a but in there.
No, there is a lot of buts. It's not only one. And not all linked to him. Perhaps we were asking too much of President Clinton, and he has his own agenda also. He had a lot of other things that he was doing, so perhaps we were leaning too much on what he could bring.
Much good work has been done in Haiti, no question. Debris has been removed, houses have been built, and roads have been repaired. But to Peter Schweitzer, for all that help, there are certain projects that need more scrutiny, projects the Clintons got behind.
You would expect that there'd be high standards of transparency, that there would be high standards of accountability, and you would also have ethical standards that would prevent you from giving contracts or concessions or benefits to people who are putting money in your pocket.
For instance, there's the story of Digicel. Almost any place you go, almost anywhere in Haiti, you'll see signs for Digicel, a top telecom company. The reason they have such prominence in Haiti may be that they have friends in high places. After the earthquake, the Clintons pushed for a wireless, phone-based money transfer system, a useful way to allow friends and relatives to send money into the ravaged nation.
The problem is the chief beneficiary from the Clintons' initiative is a company called Digicel that is owned by Dennis O'Brien.
O'Brien is an Irish billionaire who made his money in the telecom industry.
Shortly after the Clintons began reconstruction in Haiti and began handing out contracts, sometime during that period of 2010 or 2011, he made a multi-million-dollar contribution to the Clinton Foundation.
There were also speeches.
Bill Clinton gets paid to give 3 lucrative speeches, which are arranged by Dennis O'Brien.
But the money flowed in both directions.
2 of the speeches that Bill Clinton gives actually are sandwiched around Digicel being given a grant by the taxpayers for $100,000 as part of the HMMI award. At the same time, you have taxpayer money, $2 million, being committed to the Digicel Foundation in Jamaica.
Still, the biggest profit was the tens of millions Digicel made by getting the Haiti deal.
Their profits grew enormously, their market share grew enormously, and it really allowed them to become the biggest player by far in the Haitian mobile phone network.
We requested an interview with Dennis O'Brien, who declined to speak with us. For such a small and impoverished country, Haiti actually has some very valuable mineral deposits. I'm standing on top of what could one day be an open-pit gold and silver mine. Estimates are there could be more than $150 million worth of ore in these hills. It's been 50 years since Haiti gave out any permits for open-pit mines, but when it did, in 2012, guess who got it?
One of them went to a company called VCS Mining, based out of North Carolina, that had very little experience in mining to begin with. This was a potentially very lucrative concession.
So why was this particular company given such a prized concession? Peter Schweitzer thinks he knows, and it has something to do with Hillary Clinton's brother.
Tony Rodham meets the executives from VCS Mining in September of 2012 at a Clinton Global Initiative seminar. 3 months later, the Haitian government grants the gold exploitation permit to VCS Mining. And literally, within the year, Tony Rodham is placed on the board of VCS Mining. Tony Rodham has no background in Haiti, and he has no background in mining. So to me, it begs credulity.
Tony Rodham did not return our phone calls. We did speak to the CEO of VCS Mining, Angelo Viard, who maintains there is no connection between the permit and Rodham's seat on the board. Of all the projects, the one that probably made the biggest splash was Caracol Industrial Park. And in the end, it may have been the biggest disappointment. It's located near Cap Haitian, about 85 miles north of Port-au-Prince, far from the damage caused by the earthquake. According to the State Department, Caracol was designed to create up to 65,000 jobs. In October 2012, Bill and Hillary, along with Haitian heads of state and several celebrities, were there for its launch.
The plan was enormously ambitious. It was to build a textile mill. So U.S. taxpayer money was poured in to build housing and infrastructure in the area. More than $100 million was committed for this effort.
Building up the area meant first kicking out the farmers who'd been there for generations. Their harvests were bulldozed. Were people frightened? Were they upset?
Everybody was basically in shock, not understanding what was going on, with their hands in the air and screaming and crying.
Did you talk to them? Did you ask them what they were doing?
There were people with guns apparently to force them to leave the area, so they could not really do much to resist.
How many people are worse off since the Caracol Industrial Park was built?
Combien là nous là côté la vie nous pi mal qu'on y a qui en vent.
We did contact the biggest tenant here, the textile company, but so far they haven't gotten back to us about paying them a visit. I was able to round up a worker at Caracol. I can't identify him, however, because he's afraid of losing his job. He works from 6:45 in the morning till 5 p.m., getting paid 225 gourds a day, which is about $5 US.
The salary is not near what it should be, but because of the lack of jobs availability in this country, he pretty much has to take that.
How would he describe the working conditions?
Conditions are very, very, very tough. Basically, everybody is pretty much frustrated in relations to the workload and what they're getting paid. But again, it's basically take it or leave it type of situation.
He's still hopeful the future will hold more for him, but at present, Caracol is hardly the economic salvation originally promised. Not only don't the jobs pay well, but there are only about 5,000 of them, not anywhere near as many as expected. The State Department says those jobs will materialize eventually, in a decade or so. In the meantime, who is the project helping? Well, a few American companies are benefiting from the cheap Haitian labor.
The three biggest beneficiaries were actually three retailing companies closely tied to the Clintons: Gap, Target, and Walmart.
A lot of money was given to Haiti after the earthquake. Much of it was put to good use, but according to Peter Schweitzer, too much of it was used to line the pockets of people with Clinton connections.
When we return, Hillary is running. Will any of this come back to haunt her? As a presidential candidate, Hillary Clinton offers something new and different. She'd be the first female president. She also offers something that may be too familiar. She's a politician with a long history. The pundits are already asking how her past may affect the future.
I'm getting ready to do something too. I'm running for president.
One of Hillary's first big decisions as an official candidate for president was to quit the Clinton Foundation. She said she was leaving to, quote, devote myself to this new, all-encompassing endeavor.
There were new questions on Hillary Clinton's campaign as new details emerged.
A few days later, on April 15th, with the Clinton Foundation coming under increased scrutiny, they changed their policy regarding donations from foreign governments. From now on, the foundation would only take contributions from friendly Western governments like Canada and Germany. Of course, even under these limitations, there could still be donations from someone like Ian Telfer, the Canadian, who, as we mentioned earlier, was chairman of the Russian-owned company Uranium One. But even as Hillary was distancing herself from the foundation, she couldn't avoid questions about its activities. With investigative book Clinton Cash shaping up to be a political bombshell, she responded to a reporter's inquiries while campaigning in New Hampshire on April 20th by brushing aside the book's claims.
Well, we're back into the political season, and therefore we will be subjected to all kinds of distraction and attacks.
And people are going to have to believe that all of this was on the up and up, and that nobody was trying to buy influence, and all of this was fine. Or there's going to be a suspicion hanging over her that is likely to hang over her for the rest of this campaign and into the general election if she gets that far.
People are already questioning Clinton's trustworthiness. In a Fox News poll, 51% said they did not feel she was honest, the only politician on the list to score above 50%. And this was asked before the revelations about the Clinton Foundation were making headlines. Meanwhile, in a speech at Georgetown, Bill Clinton avoided the controversy.
For obvious reasons, I don't intend to talk much about electoral politics.
But even if the Clintons won't say anything substantive, the Clinton camp is preparing for an onslaught.
We're not big on quitting in my family. You may have noticed that.
On April 23rd, Clinton campaign press secretary Brian Fallon offered a specific denial of charges made in a New York Times story about Uranium One, stating, quote, "No one has produced a shred of evidence that Hillary Clinton ever took action as Secretary of State in order to support the interests of donors to the Clinton Foundation. To suggest the State Department, under then-Secretary Clinton, exerted undue influence in the U.S. government's review of the sale of Uranium One is utterly baseless." And legal experts suggest there may even be legal peril facing the Clintons down the road.
She's not protected by the fact that her husband may have taken money, or it's her husband's foundation. Spouses' interests are attributed to each other, and that is no excuse or defense.
But if media response to the book is any indication, this controversy does not seem likely to go away anytime soon.
Too much other media have weighed in with their own reporting on this to make this just go away by saying, oh, it's all a Republican conspiracy. The New York Times is not involved in a Republican conspiracy. The news reporters at the Wall Street Journal are not, and certainly we're not.
The Clintons are certainly no strangers to controversy. Bill wrote out more than a few in his day. But if the charges we've just looked at gain traction, will Hillary be as lucky? Or will people worry that another Clinton administration could mean influence peddling on a scale never before imagined? Either way, the Clintons seem to be aware that this is a question demanding a response. That's our show. Thanks for watching.